Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Trevor Talks Sports while playing video games. Today's special episode, a little day late, but that's okay because we have a special guest, and that guest is JMTakeJake, fellow Just My Take member. Care to say hey?
Hey, how we doing?
All right, we got an interesting lineup today. We're going to talk about we got good stuff because we're playing Madden today. Obviously, you can see we did the Ultimate Team Draft, so our teams are pretty stacked. Both teams, but we'll see how they end up. I'm not good at this game. Jake's pretty good, so if he trashes me, that's why. So we got a pretty good lineup here today. We're going to mostly do this one a little bit differently than normal, because normally I just go through talking points, but today we're going to have a little bit of a conversation, so it'll be a little bit different, but hopefully it'll be just as good or better. Okay, good start for me. But we don't talk about the gameplay. Everyone knows that. So first, we got a few topics on the ballot here today. We're going to start off the World Cup as usual because it's still on. So then we're going to go to Wimbledon. Just a little touch on that, and then Jake's got some stuff about the old Reds over there, and then we're going to switch to Warriors, Cavs, and then is Jameis right for the leagues or right for the Bucks to stay? So let's just jump right into the action. So first off, we got the World Cup recap. It's been just as exciting into the round of 16. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. My favorite, my favorites to win it all was Spain. Has been knocked out by who they lose to? I think Russia maybe. Yeah, they got toasted in PKs, so that was a little bummer. But that's okay. Lots of. It's exciting because Russia was the lowest ranked team heading into it, and they have made it into the next round. So it was one of the biggest upsets. It was the biggest upset in the round of 16 history. So that was exciting. Argentina out, Portugal out, so Messi, Ronaldo done. Obviously Germany didn't even make it, and then Mexico lost to Brazil. But it's just been exciting. Back and forth, all been close, especially all the PKs. So that's about all I have for that. And then moving on to Wimbledon. It's early, but a lot of the guys have been, a lot of the old guys have still been carrying their weight around here. Roger and Nadal coming in 1 and 2, and they're both just tearing it up. So that's about all it is. Djokovic has been trashing everyone through 2 rounds, and then Murray had to drop out for an injury. He hasn't played in over a year, which is kind of a bummer. No one likes to see that, but I don't really like Murray, so who cares? All right, so that's all we have for the little quick recap of news, and we're gonna jump into Jake with the Reds.
All right, so Matt Harvey was traded to the Reds from the New York Mets just about a month or 2 ago, and everybody thought it maybe was a questionable decision by the Reds because of the controversies that have surrounded Matt Harvey. But now that Matt Harvey has literally shaved off a whole point in his ERA, now people are wanting him back. Well, they're wanting to trade for him. A contender is. If I'm the Reds, I'm not trading him. It's just simple as that. Because Matt Harvey, the Reds are on the up and up, folks. Let's just put it that way. If they win out before the All-Star break, they will be 1 under 500. Considering it took them forever to win 10 games, this is pretty miraculous. Let's put it that way. And as a fellow taker, as Zach would say, the Reds are going to the World Series, folks. You better hop on the train, put the money down, call your local bookie, put the money down now because they are on their way. Because, folks, they have turned it around down there in Cincinnati. And I don't think getting rid of Matt Harvey and getting rid of any chance that we do have of a future here is a good opportunity for us. Let's hop into our next topic there, Trev.
All right, so there you have. You got a little bit of MLB because I don't know a whole lot about it. So good thing we have someone that knows something. So our next topic we got here. Oh, my God. Our next topic is the Warriors. Are they doing too much? Is it ruining the league? Big Cuz, what do we think about it?
I don't know. I saw the notification. I got the notification just like everybody else that Big Cuz signed with the Warriors, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was shocked. I would have to say you thought the same, right, Trev?
Oh yeah, I saw it. I looked at my brother and I was like, dude, If the Warriors lose a game, that'll be just embarrassing next year.
I mean, yeah, starting 5 All-Stars is something that's pretty much unheard of. It's only happened a handful of times. One I know of, it was way back in the day, the Celtics. So
yeah, it's pretty much.
I mean, this isn't common.
It's not really happened except obviously the All-Star game, but that their starting lineup is pretty much better than the East All-Stars starting lineup. So I think it's going to be. I don't know if it'll be as big of a problem because 300-pound men coming off, as Colin Cowherd would say, 300-pound men coming off an Achilles injury are not usually the same person. But we don't know, obviously. He didn't get a whole lot of offers, so he got offers, but they kind of took him off the table, and it's just kind of a murky situation. So whether it was true about that or not, no one really knows, but it's kind of a, I think if it pans out for them, it could be very, very problematic for the league.
Yeah, he was rumored received an offer before the season ended by the Pelicans, and then they basically took that away, which, I mean, that's kind of wrong to do, but he also didn't accept it. So kind of, snooze, you lose on that one. So then he made a call to the GM of the Warriors and tried to get on the Warriors, and obviously did. They all thought it was a joke. Steve Kerr came out and literally said he thought they were joking. Somebody was prank calling him. Because, I mean, it's not typical to see another All-Star go to that team. But I don't know what you think about this, but how do you feel about how this is gonna work? I mean, I don't see. Everybody thinks that this is gonna work like it's going to be nothing, it takes nothing, whatever. I mean, KD joining, it helped, obviously. KD's probably the best scorer in the league right now. But we have KD trying to act like he's big and bad now, apparently. And then we have Draymond Green on this team. There's a lot of egos to go around, and bringing in DeMarcus Cousins, a known troubled player in the past. The reason that they came out and said the teams didn't offer him is because he's not a locker room guy.
Yeah.
And he leads the league in technicals all the time. So I don't know what you have to say about this, Trev.
Yeah, my opinion for this one is he's essentially, like, the way he acts on the court is another Draymond. And so that's either going to be good or bad. My guess is bad because usually if you have two troubled players, it causes problems. Because, like the Bulls, they had Dennis Rodman, but that's one guy. It's like, he's going to cause problems, but that's all they have to, like, he's the only one that'll be, out there fighting people and causing issues with, like, team chemistry and stuff. But my opinion is that although we don't know, because that one is possible to be, like, he could be good, he might not, but he is a ball dominant player. But then again, so was Durant, and you've seen just like with that their play style, like how just seamlessly eventually he fit into. So I think if he gets some training in there, I think it can work out, and they will be absolutely unstoppable. Because although Because is a ball dominant player, and he's he's so-so, I think he can still be a very, like, he is a dangerous player out there. Like he is good. So, like, it's not like he's out there and he's a guy putting up 10 points a game with no rebounds. Like, he's averaging, like, what does he average? Like 20 and 10 almost. So, like, that's obviously a huge help to your team. But
yeah, he's an absolute great player. I'm not saying that he's not, but the way that the Warriors play, I mean, superstars have to give up a role here. I mean, you can't constantly have the ball, and I don't know if DeMarcus is willing to do that. I mean, especially with his troubled past a little bit with teammates, but he has something to prove. He has to prove himself. This is why he signed a one-year deal, because people don't think he's going to be the same after this torn Achilles. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
I hope the best for him here, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a big question mark. Everybody thinks that they're going to run away with this thing, and I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting because everyone thought the same thing last year, and then the Rockets took him to 7 games without Chris Paul. So, like, they're a beatable team, but they're definitely not. They're definitely tough.
I mean, there's already been little sparks for the Warriors on how this is going to be a troublesome and everything. What if DeMarcus Cousins is the match that lights that whole place on fire? I mean, because Kevin Durant will be a free agent next year as well, I believe, along with Big Cuz. So I mean,
and that is not a team that has not had beef in the past with Big Cuz. So like, I'm not saying he would, but it's possible that he could carry some frustration into the locker room, and especially if he's not getting the ball, or not like he's getting playing time but not playing like he wants to. And I think it could cause problems because Big Cuz is not necessarily the easygoing kind of guy.
yeah, it's going to be tough to see. I mean, it's not going to be as simple as what everybody thinks. You can't just add a superstar to a team and it's going to work just like that. It's going to take a couple games. They'll lose some in the beginning, and media will blow up as usual and say that, oh, what's going on with the Warriors, all this and that. It's just a headline, folks. It's just simple as that. Things don't just come to fruition overnight. It's just simple as that. It's going to take some time, and I feel like that if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then hey, let's see what's going to happen to the Warriors, because Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant and then Boogie Cousins will all be free agents.
Yeah,
so it might be an interesting free agency class next year.
I think it'll be tough because definitely having three All-Stars obviously worked. No one was sure if 4 would work, but no one's really done 5, so honestly no one really knows how well it's going to work. But it could, so it's not over yet, but it'll be interesting to see. The league is not over. They are still going to play it. It has been confirmed by Adam Silver.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. I mean, if it was all about putting things on paper, UMBC probably would not have beat Virginia this year in the March Madness. So let's just keep this all in mind, folks. I get that it's a 7-game series when it comes down to it, so it's a lot different than March Madness, but hey, anything can happen on any given day. That's the game of basketball.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we got the next topic here. Unless you don't have anything else for the Warriors, do you?
Well, I was just going to transition and say, do we want to talk about the team who the Warriors kind of said checkmate? How about that, too? Do we want to talk about them, the Lakers?
Oh, I mean, yeah, let's go for it. The Lakers, I think, I don't know how they're going to be. The thing I'm most excited to see is that the person that could help Lonzo the most with the way he plays, in my opinion, is LeBron James, because he is, like, LeBron obviously can score like it's nobody's business, but he definitely knows how to pass the ball. And Lonzo is I think it's obviously getting phased out, but he's a pure passer. And so I think obviously learning behind one of the greatest passers in the game, I think will be obviously beneficial for him. And then the other person that does the same thing as Rondo, and he's there too. So I don't know whether that's going to be the competition is going to hurt Lonzo, or it could bring him higher and get him to play even better than Rondo.
I completely agree, but I truly want to know something. I want to know, what is Magic Johnson thinking? That's really what I want to know. I mean, Contavious Caldwell-Pope is not worth the money that he gave him, and that really hurt him in salary cap issues. And now, I mean, Paul George came out last year before he got traded to the Thunder and said he wanted to go to the Lakers. And he stayed in Oklahoma City. He stayed in Oklahoma City, folks. So all these people that say that he should wait to go get Kawhi Leonard until free agency, are you kidding me? What if he goes to the Philadelphia 76ers, the Boston Celtics, which I wrote an article about this. I don't want him to come. But, I mean, folks, if you're the Lakers, you better start making a move real quick. And I have to assume that Lonzo might be on the trading table, because I saw something yesterday about Lonzo's camp leaked out that torn meniscus to keep him out of trade talks. Okay? Yeah. So, and does that not seem like a typical LeVar Ball kind of move, because you want your son to stay with the Lakers, which your second son is not getting signed by the Lakers. Let's just keep that all in mind first. But what do we – I don't know. I mean, Lance Stevenson signing was an absolute mind-boggling, to say the least. And then there was reports that he might be going back to the Pacers if they trade – I don't know who they're going to try to trade for. I'm really confused as to what the front office is doing. Can you explain, Trevor?
I don't really know either, but I do know that they had reports that just came out that of LeBron's the reason why he signed and stuff, and they're gonna give him a lot of say in like any signings and trades, and so like I think that's what LeBron wants. I have a feeling that Cleveland would definitely not give him that ability, even though he kind of just forced his way into that. But I think Dan Gilbert has too much of an ego to let LeBron run the show, and so I don't know that. But I think Magic is willing to work with LeBron because he's obviously like if the Magic turns out to be what he can be, LeBron's going to be a saving grace because up until now he hasn't done a whole lot other than draft Lonzo Ball, and no one knows whether he's going to be good or not. So like it's all up in the air, but I like it because I like obviously the Lakers. The easiest thing they can do is to sign a superstar, and they signed the best player in the world. So, I think they're off to a good start for where they need to be, but they're definitely they can only improve. Like, it's not like they can get worse because their team was terrible last year, and they have LeBron James. So,
are you ready for the hottest take from me personally that I've ever dropped, and it's going to be dropped on this video right now? Are you ready for this, Trevor? I would not sign LeBron James if I was a GM. Simple as that. LeBron James wants to run the show everywhere he goes, and he thinks that he's the player/owner, and that's the exact reason he went to the Lakers. What did they do with Magic Johnson once he retired? He got some stake in the Lakers, folks. And guess what's going to happen with Kobe Bryant? Yeah, Kobe Bryant still has say in what goes on. Yeah. Just breaking news to you, he still understands and is still a part of that front office because he's Kobe Bryant. The Laker greats still get to be able to say what they want. It's just simple as that. That's the Bus way. That's how Dr. Bus, that's how he said, what in the world? But that's how he said the whole thing. I mean, players have control. That's how he said it. I mean, that's what he wanted, and now Genie Bus is obviously carrying that on, and I don't know, guys. I mean, LeBron James, great player. Don't get me wrong. He is the best player in the world right now, but I wouldn't want him just because of these reasons. I mean, if I was an owner, I would want control over my own team, and that's probably why Dan Gilbert, who reportedly said that he wanted rid of LeBron because he wanted his team back, I don't blame him. I bet he did say that. Simple as that.
Yeah. So, well, who knows?
The Twitter backlash I'll probably get from this is going to be ridiculous. But
that's all right. That's what we're here for.
Yep.
At least you have evidence to back it up. You're not just spewing.
Yeah, I'm not just out here. Exactly. At least I'm coming up with something logical to say here, folks. I mean, just think about it.
So, obviously, the next likely transition is, where do the Cavs go from here? What can they do with life after LeBron? My early opinion is obviously build around Colin Sexton. He's your first lottery pick you've had since LeBron has got there. He's
whoa, false Kyrie Irving.
I mean, since LeBron has got there, as in like the second time. Sorry, the second time.
Okay, all right.
Second time, yeah.
My bad. Go ahead.
Second time, because you traded away the last one. So,
yep, true.
So obviously build around Colin Sexton as much as you can. He was promising in Alabama, but I have a lot of issues with him. I know it has become a league where scoring point guards can do well, but he has trouble passing. And I don't care how good of a scoring point guard you are, you have to be able to pass the ball. That just doesn't matter. Like, you have to be able to do it, and he can't shoot threes very well, and the league is a three-dominant league, so I think that's going to hurt him. It doesn't mean he's not able to do it, though. I mean, Jaylen Brown, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when he walked in the league, and now he's shooting. He shot pretty darn well in the playoffs. So,
besides Eastern Conference Finals Game 7, nobody could hit a broadside of a barn in that game. But let's just not talk about that one, okay?
James Harden did the same thing on the other side. He was MVP, so who cares?
Yeah, great comparison there. Jaylen Brown and James Harden. But
well, James Harden does 20 straight threes, Jake.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Bash me for one of my favorite players. I get it. Okay. Now, what my take is here on this, I mean, okay, the Cleveland Cavaliers obviously didn't get LeBron James back. And Dan Gilbert was quoted as saying, "We're ready for life without LeBron James." Okay, so now it's time to put that into action here. Well, it's not all about words. You got to actually do something here. So what in the world? That was dirty. But okay.
Dirty.
Let's put it this way, guys. I don't know. Do you blow the whole thing up? I personally probably would. You had a bunch of supporting cast for LeBron. And LeBron, I wrote an article about this. He's the greatest GM of all time. Of all time, guys, because he traded away Jordan Clarkson to come to the Cavs from the Lakers. And guess what? Jordan Clarkson's contract, yeah, it's crazy ridiculous. I would never pay him that in a million years. It's just simple as that. And so K Love has been talked about that he's going to be possibly traded. Have you heard this, Trevor?
I have, yeah. I saw possible to the Lakers back too with LeBron. That's a nice reunion there. But my opinion is I think you give Kevin Love a year and see how he does without LeBron. Because when he played without LeBron the first time in Minnesota, his last season he averaged 26 and 12. So like that's a player that you could use on your team. But that's obviously he had absolutely no one, so he had to carry the team. He didn't win anything and even get close to the playoffs in Minnesota. But without LeBron, he has averaged 26 and 12 in his final season in Minnesota. So do you look at what he can still be? Because he's only 29, or do you look at or do you just sell him for what you can he still has trade value, so do you go for it now?
What can you get out of him? My take, I get what I can right now. I mean, K-Love, great player, obviously an all-star, even though Cleveland fans seem to forgot that. I mean, he was an all-star. So, but I would probably, I'm probably blowing up the whole situation. It's simple as that. I mean, I'm trying to get young pieces that are going to maybe get me back in title contention later down the road. I mean, let's not rule out here, folks. LeBron James is probably going to come back once he's done with his 4-year stint out there in L.A. because him and Bronny are definitely going to play with each other for at least a year. I mean, that's a given, I would have to say. So I don't know. I mean, K-Love, I wouldn't trade him to the Lakers. I would try to find some other suitor because what are the Lakers going to give you back? I saw something about Luol Deng. Trevor, do you know what Luol Deng's contract is like?
It's horrendous.
If the Cavs take on the Luol Deng contract, I don't know. The organization might as well just go up in flames because I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, because they would have Jordan Clarkson's ridiculous contract, Luol Deng's ridiculous contract, and Tristan Thompson, who's making a ridiculous amount of money.
Tristan Thompson making a ridiculous amount of money to rebound the basketball. Yep, that is exactly right. And, I mean, Colin Sexton is a great young piece that you have. His outside shot's a big, huge question mark. But, I mean, we'll have to see how his game translates to the NBA.
Yeah, I think he's explosive, so that obviously helps him.
Big time. That big time helps him. And I don't know if anybody else wants to trade for these other players.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants them. My opinion here was, when I looked at it, I look at the Cavs roster as it's kind of like the Colts in Indy. I have a feeling they're not going to know just how bad it is because of someone covering it up. Andrew Luck, okay, Ike, you can argue all you want and whatever, but he took him to the AFC Championship with a team that won 2 games the next season or whatever. They're absolutely horrible. He took him to the AFC Championship, and then once he was hurt, then you realize it's oh, this team is terrible. He's getting obliterated. The defense is Swiss cheese. Everything is bad. And I have a feeling that I think you just got to flag because I hit you. That's because.
Okay, good.
And then I think that's going to be the same in Cleveland. They're going to know. They're going to be like, wow, LeBron covered up a lot of how bad this team actually was.
And, yeah, I mean, okay, Jordan Clarkson's not the worst player. Rodney Hood was, a 16-point-a-game scorer before he got traded to Cleveland? I'm saying first move I'm doing, and there's a few people that will not agree with me on this. I'm firing Tyronn Lue.
Oh, I would definitely fire Tyronn
Tyronn Lue was there because he was LeBron's guy. That was LeBron's guy. LeBron wanted him. LeBron got what he wanted in Cleveland, and guess what, folks? He left. He left not once, but twice.
Yeah, I don't blame him this time. He has a reason now. The team is terrible around him, and he definitely he won the championship. So I don't blame him. Honestly,
yeah, I don't blame him either.
Now.
I mean, his team doesn't even know the score. So I mean, yeah, if I was him, I'm out the door. I'm out the door. I don't know if LA was quite the move that I would have went with, but hey, at least they're young and promising instead of old and on the decline.
Yeah, my opinion. I say you trade. I think you got to trade Kevin Love for some more young assets. I think they need younger players because, younger mid-level talent players, because if they're stuck with J.R. Smith, who's getting at the end of his career and he's just not good anymore. I don't know. I think you just gotta keep working on some of that. You gotta get younger because the team. I think at this point now you can. Since LeBron he wanted to play with people that knew how to play. He wanted to play with some veterans. I think you go with young teams now because you can build around it now. You can build and grow the team as a whole rather than just building around to please LeBron because he's gone, so you don't have to please him anymore.
I completely agree. We all knew once they didn't trade that draft pick and got Colin Sexton that LeBron James was probably out the door. Even though in the NBA free agency pre-show I said that he wasn't. Yeah, I don't know what I was on that night because he was definitely going to be gone. It was there was 1 week you thought he was going to the Cavs, the next week you thought he was going to the Lakers there for a hot second. So it was clearly recorded in the week that I thought he was going to the Cavs. But I don't know. Yeah, do you think could they be a possible suitor for Kawhi Leonard?
See, I don't know. I think Kawhi knows the history of Cleveland without LeBron. That's my if I was any free agent, I'd be like, okay, I know how terrible this team is. They were a lottery pick 3 out of the 4. They were a number 1 pick 3 out of the 4 times LeBron was not there. So I'd say I would never go here. But it's
but it's a completely different team now. I mean,
it is.
The team that LeBron James had back then is way different than what he had now. Back then when he left, I mean, he left nothing for the Cavs. At least he's leaving something. We got K-Love. They got Tristan Thompson, Jordan Clarkson. They have Colin Sexton. They have Rodney Hood. I mean, it's not terrible. You have a little bit to work. You have more to work with than what you did back in the past. You still don't have a lot, but can you put together a nice package at least? Because I would have to say I don't know any of their draft pick situations, but you'd have to assume that they have their first-round draft pick this year.
I
assume. So why not try to maybe get a trade going for Kawhi? And, I mean, I get it. It's Cleveland. Not a lot of people want to go to Cleveland. It's probably why LeBron James went to L.A. You can appeal to more superstars going to L.A. than you can Cleveland. But, I mean, why not try? I mean, you have literally nothing to lose. If not, I think he's going to Philly. Kawhi to Philly, I would have to say, because
that's what I think.
They have the most to offer. And it came out that maybe he doesn't even want to go to L.A. because after LeBron James signed.
Yeah.
He's a different individual. It's just simple as that.
Yeah.
Why could I not get that throw off? But,
I think it'll be interesting to see because if it's old Kevin Love, they can obviously compete in the East. The East is not strong still. Obviously, actually 3/4 of the NBA is in the West. So I think if Kevin Love is back to his old self, like in Minnesota, I think they could at least make the playoffs. And who knows? Maybe someone would want to play with Kevin Love and a young, promising Colin Sexton.
Yeah, and everybody's stewing on who are going to be the playoff teams in the West, which right now I'm going to tell you my hot take right there is the Phoenix Suns might sneak in the 8th seed.
Oh,
but
boy.
That's a very hot take.
That is a hot take.
Not as hot as not signing LeBron James, though, so
that's a hot take for another video.
that's why we call it Just My Take Sports over here, guys. But now you completely lost my train of thought as to what I was saying. Now that you just trashed my idea. But okay, everybody wanted to question who's gonna be the playoff contenders in the West. Who's gonna be all 8 seeds? Well, folks, okay, here's a better question for you to stew on. Who's gonna be the 8 in the East? Because I would say that the Boston Celtics are probably going to be the number 1 seed, and then Philly at 2, and then kind of from there you don't know. Indiana will probably definitely be in there.
Indiana's going to be top at least 4.
The Raptors, I really don't know with the new coach. They didn't blow up the situation besides the coach, so
they're
I truly
toast.
don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. But, you know, we had a lot of NBA talk in this episode. Let's switch
We're gonna swing it to Jameis.
Yeah, we're gonna swing it to Jameis because, guys, I can't express to you how much I am ready for football season. You know, we're out here making headlines about free agency. I love it and all, but it is time for some football.
I know.
Trevor,
I
take it
agree.
away.
We definitely, as much as we love the NBA. We've only been having a significant amount of content about the World Cup or NBA because that's about all that's happening right now. So we need some football action. I think it'll make I'm excited to put out content about that. I think I'm definitely excited. So our first, our about only topic we really have time for is we got new suspensions of Jameis Winston. So as we look at it. Is his, his off-field antics worth it for how well he plays on the field? In my opinion, just a quick throw out here is that he is. I think he still has potential to be a good quarterback. He's not a bad quarterback. He just throws a lot of picks, and he's either has a game where he's going off for, 5 touchdowns and no interceptions and 400 yards, or he's going for 100 yards and 10 picks. Like this dude, he's so inconsistent, and I think it hurts the team, and I just don't know that it's gonna help. I think it's about time to move on for after he's just been in the media on a lot more stuff about his off-field than on-field. They're not really talking about how, oh man, Jameis had another great game. They're talking about, oh, Jameis has another allegation against him.
Yeah, Jameis is reaching around the back seat, from the back seat to the front seat and grabbing a female Uber driver inappropriately. Yeah, that's ridiculous. As a quarterback, you get judged on the small things. Everybody knows that, especially when you're off field. Why can you not keep your nose clean? I don't know. It's as simple as that. He's stolen crab legs. He's stood on a table and yelled profane things when he was in college, so everybody thought that was young and immature. And now he's inappropriately grabbing Uber drivers, folks. This guy is trouble. Simple as that. I wouldn't keep him. I wouldn't. I'm trading him, and I'm giving Nick Foles a shot. Nick Foles deserves a starting job, especially after what he did in the Super Bowl. I've seen this on multiple media outlets. Why not bring in Nick Foles?
I like
Why
that.
not?
I like it. I think, Nick Foles, he's not the best quarterback. He's thrown 7 touchdowns in a game though, and he has been a Super Bowl MVP. So he's obviously a good quarterback. Like he's starting worthy. He's better than some of the other, at least some of the other starting quarterbacks in the league. So I think. Yeah, I agree with that. I say you give Nick Foles a shot. You got a lot to. I mean, Tampa has a pretty decent amount to offer. They are building and improving, so maybe building around a quarterback that just came off of a hot playoff run. That's not a bad idea. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, we are playing in Buccaneers Stadium right now. I'd just like to let you guys all know. But it's still pretty coincidental that we're on this topic. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, is he not their backup quarterback? I do believe he is.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he was signed, and he is their backup quarterback. So, I mean, at least they have somebody for, 4-game suspension? At least they have somebody to play. Ryan Fitzpatrick's not a terrible quarterback, but Nick Foles is clearly better, guys. So why not go get him?
Yeah.
Go get Nick Foles. Because Nick Foles, he's proven At least he played in very tough conditions.
Yeah, the toughest of any
You'd have to
conditions.
say.
You're playing against Tom Brady throwing 500 yards. You gotta outplay someone.
Exactly, and I mean you're stepping in for probably would have won MVP if didn't get injured, Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I don't know. Oh, you're gonna kick a field goal, nice. So I don't know. I mean, the Buccaneers, they've never been a top team, at least since we've been alive.
Well, they got pretty close. They no, they won one, didn't they? Yeah, they won under John Gruden in what 2004 or something like that. So, but that's about
since
it.
I really was capable of paying attention to football, they haven't.
Since I've cared about football, they have not.
Yes, and I mean, ever since John Gruden left, yes, that's a great point. Thank you, Trevor, for correcting me on that. I mean, this franchise hasn't exactly been the greatest, so I mean, bringing in a troubled quarterback, I think it was a debatable decision from the get-go drafting him, especially after you knew his college antics, you knew what he did, and then you still drafted him.
I think sometimes you gotta bite for it, see because he could pay off. Like he could have paid off. Like I'm not sure he still has potential to pay off, but like. I mean, he was supposed to be a pretty good quarterback, obviously getting drafted #1 overall. So, I don't know. It's interesting to know, but yeah. So
yeah, I mean, they took a chance. It probably has not panned out and probably will not pan out, and it's just time to call it quits, in my opinion. It's time to say, hey, Jameis, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go join up in the CFL. Go try that route.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. So, all right. Well, we are going to overtime. We'll let you know at the end, because we don't really have any more talking points. And the video is getting a little long, so we'll let you know at the end who actually ends up winning. We'll probably tweet it. So that's all we got today. I'd like to thank having a guest on here. JMTakeJake. Appreciate you having on. Good insight. And yeah, got anything else you want to say?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Make sure to go follow all of us on Twitter. At JMTake Sports is the main one, and then at JMTakeTrev and at JMTakeJake. And yeah, have a great one, guys.
Definitely JMTake Zach and new one, JMTake Ryan. Feel free to do that.
That is true. That is true. They were not featured in this episode. They were not featured in this episode, but will be on shortly. Do not worry.
Yeah, so, all right, that's all we got for you today. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.